LockNReload. So as you know, AR-15, one of the most viable accessories, one of the most viable components on an AR-15 besides the ammunition and the sights and the red dot and whatever other attachment you have on your rifle. There is one more important item that you need with your AR-15. A magazine. This is the most important thing besides the rifle and ammunition. The magazine is the thing that has to feed it. So you want to try to find a reliable magazine. Whether you're basing it off of price, whether you're basing it off of reliability. But I try to base everything off of price, reliability, and function to make sure it's a good high dollar value. Because again, I live on a budget. That's why it took me so long to build an AR-15. I have not made money by any means. But anyway, there is a newer company that makes magazines. They don't just make them for the AR-15. They make them for a lot of various different firearms. ASC. They are made out of New Britain, Connecticut. This magazine is United States made, so it's made in New Britain, Connecticut. It's actually made in the same state as my Stag Arms AR-15, which I find kind of interesting. Anyway, I have 4 of these magazines from ASC. The fit and finishing on this magazine is outstanding. Reliability is still up in the air. I haven't shot them enough. I have run 30 rounds through 2 of these magazines, specifically these 2. Reliability is not an issue so far. They do have orange followers in them. They are anti-tilt followers that they went ahead and put in these magazines. Now, these are stamped aluminum. At least I think they're stamped aluminum. They go into the gun empty very nicely. Click in, very positive, and they hold the bolt open, just the way they should. You go in, and they go out relatively nicely. Now, reliability so far hasn't been an issue, but again, this is a preliminary review. I've only shot a few of these, about 30 times in 2 of my magazines, so reliability is still up in the air. I can't say whether it's good, bad, or otherwise. It functions so far. Anyway, we'll find out if the follower is actually a non-tilt or anti-tilt follower. Although right off the bat, I do find a dilemma with these. Most of your GI magazines or your high dollar magazines, whether they be Magpul or even Pro Mag, from what I've heard. I haven't run Pro Mag to really form an opinion on them. So hopefully I've got some Pro Mag accessories coming up here, besides for my Ruger 1022. When you load 30 rounds of ammunition, these do not always go in. They don't always go into the mag well. I wish I had a loaded magazine to show you. You get about to here, and you can tap on it all day long, and it's still not going to go in. The only way around that is to go ahead and have your bolt open, and then insert the magazine. And then you can ride it home and call it a day. So having 30 rounds of ammunition in these, you cannot necessarily, some of them do, some of them don't. It's going to be hard pressed to put this magazine in on a closed bolt, which is kind of redonkulous, but it is what it is. Again, I pay $10 per magazine. So if that means $10, I can't push it in with 30 rounds on a closed bolt, oh well. I'll open the bolt, put it in, because again, these are $10 a copy. At least that's what I pay for them. The fit and finishing is great. I like them a lot so far, but that has yet to be determined. Can't have all show and no go. It can't look pretty and not perform. Then you just got an expensive, pretty looking paperweight otherwise. I'm the king of going through magazines and finding out what works and what doesn't. But for $10, you can't complain if it works sometimes. I really rather work all the time, but it is what it is. We'll find that out for $10 and see what kind of quality you get for $10. You can't always base things on price, because you could be just paying for the name, or they just make a cheap product. So it does have a removable floor plate. Like most of your magazines, this one shouldn't be too hard to remove. Shouldn't be. I have not taken them apart. I won't take one apart on camera just because I haven't taken one apart yet. Haven't had a reason to. So on my post-action or after-action review, we'll go ahead and take one of these apart after a couple of 100 rounds, and just to see how much I like or dislike this magazine. Some of the drawbacks so far: unloading this magazine is kind of a pain. The magazine itself needs some fit and finishing right on the feed lips. I believe there are some burrs in there, so when you go ahead and unload the magazine, some of them unload harder than others. Actually, the 5.56 cartridge unloads the worst out of this. If you're manually unloading them, the 223, not so bad. Or the reloaded 223 is not so bad. But anyway, this is ASC LLC out of New Britain, Connecticut. Again, another American-made magazine for the ever-loving AR-15. If you have any questions, concerns, leave them at the bottom. Feel free to rate, subscribe. Also, check out my all-new channel called The Casting Reel. Anyway, this is Lock and Reload. As always, catch you later.